Hey guys, it's Drea. So I wanted to do a little bit of a get ready with me. I have a few products that are still brand new that I haven't tried from my most recent haul, and I kind of wanted to try them out with you first time on camera. So I don't have a ton of stuff, there's only a few things, but what I figured was I just picked up this gift set here, which is one of the new holiday releases from Urban Decay, and it's got 5 different shades of lipstick in it. It's called the Little Vices set, and I figured I'd do a get ready with me and then we can lip swatch all 5 of them at the end. I thought that might be a little bit of fun, so if you're into that, let's just hop into it. I want to start out with this. This is the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer, and I actually have tried this already as a sample. I got a sample at Sephora and I really like it. So I went out and purchased it. Basically, this is super liquidy. Let me just give you a little, yeah, let me show you. See that? Very runny primer, but once it goes on, it dries to this like super soft to the touch, it's just really nice once it goes on. So if you're able to get you to a Sephora and get a sample, do that because I'm really enjoying it. It really does kind of fill in the pores, but it's just got this light as air kind of velvet touch. It's really nice. Okay, this is the Neutrogena Nourishing Longwear Makeup. I have the shade Natural Ivory 20. Never tried this, and we don't get Neutrogena makeup here in Canada anywhere as far as I know. I mean, I only live in one part of Canada, so, but it's not sold anywhere near me. So I'm very excited to try this out. I bought a shade that might end up being too light just because, you know, we're going into winter and I'm gonna be getting lighter. So I figured it'd be better to buy my winter shade as opposed to the color I am now, you know, so we're just gonna work with it. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised. I thought this was going to be a lot more coverage than what it actually ends up looking like. It looks to be light to medium, like not even medium coverage. So I'm just going to build it up. It doesn't have a pump, so I'm just shaking it onto my finger. It does have SPF 20 in it. It looks to be kind of like a very natural finish. You can see there's a little bit of a shine on it, like, you know, it's a little bit dewy. Let's see, we'll see if it like dries down any more than this. But I like the way it kind of blends in with my skin. It looks very skin-like, so that's good. And this is pretty pink. It's got pretty pink undertones. I'm not really sure what the whole shade range is like. When I bought this, I was in a huge rush and I didn't really have a lot of time to kind of figure out what the best shade was, so I just did a really quick guess. I don't think the Beauty Blender made much of a difference from the brush side, so pretty much same amount of coverage, and just gonna build it up with a second layer. I'm just gonna kind of yada through a lot of these products that aren't new first impressions, and I of course will list everything though down below in the description bar, so if you are wondering what I'm doing and I don't actually mention it, it'll be down there. Because there's a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. Both very different subjects, these two subjects. So let's start out with the heavier and then we'll move on to the very light subject, and on a light note. The first thing is this. Okay, I had a little bit of an epiphany yesterday and I thought maybe I'd mention it to you guys. Because I like talking about, you know, being negative and positive in life. And positivity just, I feel like it brings you so much, and negativity just takes so much away from you. But yet it's so hard for us to be positive a lot of the time. Yesterday I was walking to the gym, or maybe it was the day before. It was the day before. Does that matter to you? No. Anyway, I was walking to the gym, and do you ever have this thing where you're out walking and you can feel somebody just a couple steps behind you? And they're just a little too close for comfort. It's just, you know, wrong timing. Like, they're a little fast, you're maybe a little bit slower, but you know, you still kind of want to be in front and all this. So anyway, there's this person behind me and I could feel them there, and so I just decided, okay, I'm just gonna like speed up. Because I didn't want to slow down, because I figured if I slowed down, then, you know, they would overtake me and maybe slow me down and go slower. The things our brains go through in these stupid moments, right? So anyway, I decided, okay, I'll speed up and I'll speed walk, and I did, and I was just like kind of angry about it. And then I was on a sidewalk and there was like 3 people coming towards me, like a family. There was a small child and a mother and a father and like another kid maybe, and none of them moved over for me. I had to move completely off the sidewalk for them, and it just kind of like, I was like, really? I'm only one person. Do I really have to move for you? And then there was a guy who came along in a wheelchair, and of course I was going to move off the sidewalk for him. He had like a motorized wheelchair, but it just got me thinking. I was like, okay, I'm all of a sudden in a bad mood because I have to do all this stuff for all these people and they're being inconsiderate, not the wheelchair guy. And then it occurred to me, I'm like, okay, what if they're not being inconsiderate? What if I give every single person I encounter the benefit of the doubt from here on out? And I decided to do that. And then the next kind of person I encountered, or no, the next people I encountered were like teenagers that were just kind of fooling around on the sidewalk. Kind of had to move off the sidewalk again. And I was just like, oh, well, they're just teenagers. They're having fun. You gotta let them live their lives. And the difference in the mindset from kind of feeling that entitled, why do I have to move kind of feeling, to giving people the benefit of the doubt and being happy to go out of your way to do something for them. Let me tell you guys, the change was dramatic. Like, I felt better. I just felt, I don't want to say like I felt positive. I just felt better. You know, I wasn't in a foul mood. I was just in a good mood. And it's just funny how something so simple can change your outlook. So that's just something I wanted to quickly mention. I don't like to sit here and preach positivity all the time because I feel like sometimes that can get boring maybe. Like, not everybody's here for that. And, you know, if that's really what you're into, you can go like watch a motivational channel or something. But I still wanted to mention it because to me it was like a little bit of a wake-up call. And it was just kind of like, okay, well, you know what? If you can be more forgiving of people and more like, I don't know, just more generous in life, it just makes you happier. It makes your life a little bit easier. And the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about is a TV show, which is why I said like it's very light subject matter. This is not life-changing, this one. Is anybody else watching The Defenders on Netflix? Because I am, and I am finding it a slog. I'm finding it real difficult to get through it. I loved the Daredevil series on Netflix. The first one, like the first season 1 was awesome. Season 2 was pretty good too, but I really loved season 1. And I really like Jessica Jones, and I'm finding that The Defenders is just so hard to get through. I'm on episode 3 and I'm barely getting into it. Like, it is such a slog. If any of you have watched it, let me know what you think because I'm finding it such a letdown after Daredevil being so good. I'm going to just use my Naked 2 Basics, and I'm going to mix both these colors together, and I'm just going to use that as my transition shade because I'm going to be using a highlighter palette on my eyes, and it has no matte shades obviously. So I'm just kind of putting this messily in the crease and slightly above. So I'm going to use my new Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick Radiant as my eyeshadow today. I'm also going to use it as my highlighter, but I figured it might be fun to try it as eyeshadow because it's got all these different strips of different colors. So I'm going to put this brush right into the darkest shade right there. And I'm going to try to put this kind of right on the edge, maybe slightly up into the crease, but kind of more like an outer V. It's a little bit bronzier than I expected. I thought it might be a little bit darker to just stick my brush right in that section, but it's still pretty. I can hear one of my dogs barking in their sleep. It's so cute. If you have pets, do they ever do that? That is one of the cutest things ever. I'm going to take kind of a more dense flat brush, and I'm going to put that kind of, I'm going to just swipe it like this onto the brush, and I'm going to put this all over the lid. Let's just stick this right in the very top shade and just do a little bit of a brow bone highlight. Actually, that's more than a little bit of a brow bone highlight. What was I thinking? course it's gonna be crazy. And because I'm just not fully happy with the depth in my outer V, I'm just gonna go into this shade here, which is Cover, and I'm just gonna build that up slightly more. So I've been loving my matte liquid liner from NYX lately, but it's a little bit, it's not easy for beginners to use, so I thought I would use a really kind of good one for beginners, just in case any of you are looking for one. This is from Physicians Formula. This is called the Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner. You have to get the shade Ultra Black because the shade black is not black, it's gray. So Ultra Black it is. This is a brush tip liner. It is a dupe for the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. The only thing with this is it's not matte, it's a little bit shiny. So, but I find it really easy to use and half the price of the Kat Von D one. Don't go out of focus, camera. One thing to keep in mind, and I used to do this years ago, is I would try to do the entire thing, flick and all, in one stroke, and that is not going to work. So you're just going to want to do small strokes that you connect. Don't worry about being messy at first. What I like to do is just start by outlining my actual lash line, and then I add the flick in very last. And then you can always go in and kind of clean up the top line at the very end. Eyeliner is just one of those things where it's probably one of the most difficult things to do, but you have to figure out what works best for you. So what I like to do is just follow the bottom lash line and follow it up, and that's where I kind of take the direction of my eyeliner. And so what I'm going to do is draw one line first. I just drew the one line, and what I like to do is take my brush and just a couple millimeters down from the edge of that, I will take that and connect it kind of in a triangle, and what I aim for is my pupil. So I would like to end it in the middle of where my pupil is. So take it from here all the way in here. So there you can see I've got my outline, and now you're just going to fill it in. And then if you feel like the beginning is not thick enough or not straight enough, you can go in and just kind of redraw that line to connect. And there you go. Now this is a little bit of a thicker edge and you know, sometimes you intend that and sometimes you don't, and honestly I didn't really intend for that to happen today, but that's due to the angle and the length that I drew that first flick, and I just kind of wanted it to be bigger to show you guys how I do it. Normally I would probably make that line a little bit shorter and then I'd have a little bit of a more tame flick. And honestly, you guys, it is a little bit more difficult for me at this particular place I'm sitting because I don't have anything to put my elbow on top of. Normally I have just a regular table in front of me that I brace my elbow on, and that is such a huge difference in just allowing your arm to be more stable. So if you can do that, if you're new at eyeliner, I would suggest that. Once you get a little bit better, it's a little bit easier not to brace your elbow, but if you're new, brace your elbow. Okay, you guys, at this point, I'm actually going to be filming my everyday eyebrow tutorial that a lot of you guys have been bugging me for a long time. So I'm finally getting around to that. So I'm just going to go off camera and I will be right back. Next time you see me, I'll have eyebrows on. Okay, so my eyebrows are on. I also did a little bit of bronzer and blush, and now I'm going to use this as my highlight. I guess I'm just going to, I could mix the whole thing together, but I think I'm just going to kind of stick to the bottom, kind of 3 strips area. A lot comes off on the brush at once, so I'm just going to tap it first and see what it looks like. So it's a little bit more of a peachy champagne. Kind of make it meld a little bit more with my skin. And then I always kind of like to take the brush without any more product, and whatever excess, I just kind of put it right above my brows and kind of on my nose. I don't like to go too much on my nose because I already have oily skin, just a tiny bit, and then I'll go back in slightly and just put a little bit on the Cupid's bow. I love highlighting my Cupid's bow. Before I actually put on my mascara. I usually like to set my face first just because I'm paranoid about my mascara running. So this is new. This is from Hard Candy. This is their Sheer Envy Mattifying Setting Spray. It says right on it, controls oil and minimizes pores and 12-hour long wear and hydration. I never understand that. How can something be mattifying and hydrating at the same time? I don't know, sometimes with these claims with these companies, I feel like they're trying to cover every end of the spectrum. It's okay to specialize sometimes. I have used this once. It's got, I want to say pretty intense spray, but if you hold it far enough away from your face, it does kind of settle nicely on the skin. So let's just do that. Yeah, if you put it too close, you're definitely going to get too much, I think, all at once. And I'm not in love with the scent of this. It's not really got any nice kind of scent. It's not terribly bad, but it's not terribly nice. It doesn't really smell like anything in particular to me. I've got a Marshmallow Fireside candle going, and it's literally like 26 degrees Celsius outside. It is super hot. I just turned on the air conditioning even higher because I am sweltering in this sweatshirt. So I am using the Essence, what is this called? The Volume Stylish Lash Extension Mascara. I really like this one a lot. It really does give you long eyelashes. Whenever I do a big wing though, I really like to wear falsies because I just feel like the wing is super overpowering if your eyelashes aren't long enough. So there's always some days where I want to wear false eyelashes, but I also at the same time don't want to be bothered with just the headache that they sometimes are. So when I have an old pair of eyelashes that have kind of outlived their usefulness, I will cut them in half, and then I tend to use these on days like today when I want a little bit of extra, but I just don't want to be bothered. This is super easy and fast. And since I have the black liner on, it's going to cover up that glue. You're not going to be able to see it. And because we're using such a small section of eyelash, it really just definitely blends in better. Like, you're going to see a difference with the volume and length on the outer side of your eye, but not everybody's going to know immediately that you're wearing fake eyelashes. The other thing I like about doing this is because you're not dealing with having to stick it down in the middle, then put down each end. It's a very short section. You don't even have to wait for this to be super tacky. I mean, I still wait a little while, but if it's not super tacky yet, that's okay because it's kind of flat and it's going to stay down. You don't have to worry about pushing any edges down. So all we're going to do is kind of line it up to where we want it. I don't want to go all the way to the edge of my eyeliner. I want to stick it to the edge of my eyeball, I don't want it stuck to my eyeball, but you guys know what I'm saying. So right about here, and then I just make sure it's kind of pressed up against my lash line, and then I kind of squeeze it to my lashes and push it up a little bit to make sure it's kind of not, you know, drooping at all. And there you go. That is literally it. Using half a lash it's changed my game. I think I originally got that tip from Samantha Ravindal, and ever since then it has just made my life so much easier. Okay, so I just went and did my hair quickly, and now we get to test out these new Lippies. So, like I said, this is the Little Vices from Urban Decay. This is part of their holiday collection. We've got 5 different shades in here. They come in this little thing that slides out, which is super cute because you can, you know, just store them this way. And I guess I'm just gonna grab one at a time. We'll be surprised. So let's start with this. This is Mad, which is a metallized lipstick, and it's a purple glitter lipstick. Ooh, look at that. I actually don't mind this. It's kind of fun. It's definitely got a shine to it, a lot of glitter in it. It's got kind of a little bit of a blue shift to it. It's actually surprisingly comfortable. It doesn't feel gritty at all, so this one is a little bit of fun. So the next one is Double Cross, which is also a metallized. I thought this one was a cream for some reason, but it's not. It's metal. Ooh, Yeah, this can be a really nice fall shade. So this is obviously a very, very, very deep brown, purpley, burgundy shade. It's slightly streaky, but with a couple layers, it's not bad. This kind of shade can often get really, really streaky. The only thing on me is often this kind of shade makes my teeth look gray and dead. So I don't know how often I'll wear it, but I really do like this kind of shade for fall in general. This next one is Violate. This is a cream finish and it's kind of like a cool tone pink. This is almost like a lavender shade of pink. I think it's really pretty, but it's not gonna work on you if you're really, really warm tone. This will probably be for those cool tone girls. It's also super creamy and comfortable. Yeah, and it doesn't have any glitter in it at all. This is 1993. Last year we were all describing this as Kylie Jenner brown. I don't know if we are still doing that, but it definitely is that kind of 90s brown that it was all the rage last year. I think people are kind of starting to get away from it a little bit this year, but it's not like it's gone away at all. So yeah, this is just kind of a nice everyday fall brown. And by the way, these lipsticks have no scent at all, in case you were wondering. And this one is Love Drunk. This is a comfort matte, just like 1993 was. It feels really nice. I love the shade of it, but this one was a biatch to put on. I had to try it twice, and the second time I had to use a lip liner, and even then I screwed it up twice. But that's just kind of the way it goes with red a lot of the time, especially in a really creamy formula. I do really like the end result. I mean, I love the end result color, but I still, like, this is not perfect, that's for sure. Okay, so this is the final look, the end result of everything we tried out. Let me know which of the lip colors was your favorite. I really like this red, although I don't wear red a lot. Other than that, I think I really like all of them, actually. I could see myself wearing each one of them at one point or another. Let's talk about some of these other products. The foundation is wearing really nicely. I like how it's sitting on my skin. It does look like skin. It took a little bit to build it up, and it's still, like, it's definitely not a full coverage foundation if that's what you're looking for, but it's, after 2 layers, is a medium coverage. And I'm sitting here sweating under these lights, and it's hot in this room, and it's holding up really well. So, but then again, I've only been at this for like an hour, so I don't know about the whole day. I am going to bring you guys a foundation roundup video soon where I will report on a whole bunch of foundations. I am loving this primer. The highlight I think is super pretty. I don't know how different it is from a lot of other highlights I have, but it's a really good price from the drugstore. So I like that you have different options for colors. As an eyeshadow, I don't know, it's not really giving me the pop I wanted it to. Maybe if I had used it wet, I don't know. And then this Hard Candy Matte Sheer Envy Mattifying Setting Spray. I will give you guys an update on this in the future as well. Definitely subscribe if you're new here. I'd love to see you around in the future. That's it for today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!